All right, we are back again with another episode of Seeing Light Through Darkness. I'm your host, Kylan, better known as Kai, and with me again this evening is our co-host, Miss Monisha, aka Mo, and your girl, Tequila, aka Kiki.
Hey.
What's going on, ladies? Y'all feeling good? Y'all feeling great?
Feeling awesome. Yes.
All right. I know we've been busy with getting the kiddos, back to school and preparing for that, which was, can cause a little bit of stress there, just preparing for it. But what are we, like 3 weeks in? Is this week 3?
We are 3.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know about you all, but we have been adjusting. That's been my word lately, adjusting.
Very much so.
So tonight I did want to share a quick video. It was from back in 2017, but hey, it doesn't matter. It's still relevant to today. So I just wanted to play that really quick. But before we get into that, I just want to again thank our listeners for tuning in and supporting us. Also, if you want to follow this podcast, Seeing Light Through Darkness, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor. So just look for Seeing Light Through Darkness by My Mental Space, and you can also find us on Facebook at My Mental Space, at My Mental Space, as well as Instagram and Twitter at My Mental Space 21. Those are the numbers 2 and 1. And last but not least, on YouTube at My Mental Space. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can keep up with the latest content. All right, so let's get into this quick video. And we can just discuss from there, 1 second, let me play this and we'll get into it. Let's see.
It brings unique challenges for families as they return to school routines, nightly homework, and
can we all hear?
And with these extra to-dos comes morning meltdowns, homework struggles.
I don't hear you.
You can't hear?
Are you sharing the right screen?
Hang on 1 second.
Okay.
That's right. Let me share this 1 second. Let's get this going.
September, it brings...
1 second. Thank you for reminding me, because that was crazy. All right, so let me share this. And let me make sure this volume is set. All right, here we go.
Brings unique challenges for families as they return to school routines, nightly homework, and fall sports. And with these extra to-dos comes morning meltdowns, homework struggles, and just plain crankiness. So how do parents help their children get through these back-to-school struggles?
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. Joining us with some great advice and solutions is clinical psychologist, international speaker, and the New York Times best-selling author of The Conscious Parent, Transforming Ourselves, Empowering Our Children. Dr. Shefali, welcome.
Good morning.
Thank you.
So many parents, especially those who have kindergartners, are dealing with these morning meltdowns. What should parents do if their child is having a meltdown?
Well, the first thing they need to do is stop acting like it's, an epic, war that's about to take place, because these are normal rites of passage that most children go through, especially when they're returning to school and starting a new routine. So parents need to take a look at their own reactivity, their own levels of anxiety, and that's what my work focuses on, is what is the parent bringing to this equation that's compounding the problem. So the first thing to do is not make it some epic struggle. Don't create a battle line and put yourself on the other side. Find out why it is your kid is having this anxiety, and then check your own reactivity to that anxiety, and then help preempt and prepare. I do courses on helping parents role play things and situations with their children preemptively so that they can give their children the skills that they need. Children don't want to throw tantrums. They're doing so because they cannot cope with this new reality. So how can we as parents give them the skills? So simulate the environment. I create simulated environments where parents and children role play the actual goodbye or the actual getting up and the whole morning routine so that things are put into place before the actual event takes place. So children feel competent and resilient.
Let's talk about kids and their schedule. So many kids, they have multiple activities, they have sports, they have homework. Does it get to a point where there's just too much? We're overscheduling our children, and as parents, how do we know when it's too much, and how do we help them manage these busy schedules?
Well, yes, we are overscheduling our children, no doubt about it. And it's clear to see because statistics show that anxiety in children is on the rise. They're sleeping much less. They have poor study habits because they're exhausted. And the key question I ask parents is take a pause, ask yourself, is this activity really to engender and boost up your ego? Or is it really, truly, organically coming from the child's interests and the child's sense of self? Is it coming from the child or for the parent? Because children, for the most part, will tell you, no, I don't want to play piano 5 times a week, or I don't want to do 10 activities after school. I'm exhausted. And they're showing signs of being burdened by that, but we're not paying attention because we believe that this is the pathway to success. And we've narrowly defined success to be an overachievement and staying ahead of the curve. And we're afraid, we're coming from lack and fear, that if we don't push our children, somehow they're not going to survive. So this is a culture based on deep fear and anxiety, and it needs to be it needs to end. It needs to be mitigated immediately because our children are suffering because of it.
But there's also tremendous abundance. So my son, here's the 10 things he wants to do.
Yes. So when it's clearly coming, it's the clarion call of the child's soul, follow it. But be careful. That's why I ask parents first, where is this coming from? Is it coming from you? Or is it truly coming from within the child? And then you follow the child.
But that suggests that the children always have the answers. And as a parent, your responsibility is to guide them in the right direction.
Right.
You know better than the
Absolutely.
child.
Absolutely. But the guidance needs to be listening to what the child would be best at, not listening to what my ego wants.
Right.
So yes, guide them according to their sense of who they are, not what you want them to be.
And do you feel one gender might be more guilty of that than another? I just know from personal experience in sports, a lot of times it's the dads who maybe want their kids to athletically excel a little bit more than the kid does.
Of course, and this is a cultural phenomenon, it's universal, and that's why we have to put that ego in check. We have to tell the dads, hey, you loved sports or you didn't love sport, whatever your thing was, that's you. Separate who you are from who your child is. Now pay attention to your child and attune to what your child is asking for. And then go all the way if the kid is taking the lead.
They're telling us to wrap up, but I think this is so important about homework. And sometimes children, it's so much, and they're crying, even if they're not typically something to cry.
Yes.
But they're crying, they're this crush of homework.
Well, because grades have become the ultimate marker for their entire sense of self, and that's why they're not enjoying the process of learning anymore. So we need to change that. We need to make learning the key element, not the grade.
And testing.
And we want to let everyone know that Dr. Shefali, you're going to be having a weekend retreat called the Evolve Summit, September 15th to September 17th. It's in Long Beach. For more information on that, you can go to drshefali.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So, in hearing that, Mo, I'm going to start with you. With your thoughts, your opinions, and your experience, within these last 3 weeks. What do you think about what Dr. Shefali, I think I'm pronouncing that right, what she was talking about as far as with homework, the schedules, because I know, me and you both have kids, in these extracurricular activities. So what are your thoughts? Mo, are you muted? Are you muted?
Oh.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep. All right,
Yeah,
go
I got my
ahead.
little headphones. I got my little headphones. So, okay, so like I was saying that for me, my thoughts kind of teeter the fence a little bit, right? So some of what she's saying, yes. Some of what she's saying, no. Now for the babies, when you got like little babies, like I get it, it's a whole transition for them. You know, they go from being at home with mama, daddy all day, or you know, daycare, to you got to get into a whole different routine.
Right.
Now, since we had a 5th grader, right, you already know within 2 weeks of school time, you need to start getting into a routine because this is happening.
Right.
This is going down. Okay. So for 5th grade, I decided to take a whole nother approach because I was tired. So all last year, I got kid dressed, ironed kid clothes, fixed breakfast, fixed lunch, took kid to school, did homework. This year I said, we're going to do something totally different. You're 10, you're double digit, you're a big boy. It's time for you to hold some of your own accountability. You iron your own clothes, you wash your own clothes, you get your own self dressed, you get up downstairs, you plan your own menu for your lunch. You make sure your lunch box is ready to go. Your food is ready to go. You do everything by yourself. Only thing I do is make sure that he eats some breakfast.
Right.
That's it. That's all I do. So it was get myself in a routine. Now, as far as saying, oh, you gonna do this sports, you gonna do this or that. So this year I said I'm gonna let him be in the driver's seat for that. I did.
Yeah.
So he decided that he wanted to do band. All right.
Right.
Well, now we're about to be full in for band, and let's see what you want to do. Because what I don't want to do is because, you know, Kai, you know, well, he's been playing baseball since 3, right?
Yeah.
And so since he's been playing baseball since 3, it's been that we're like, okay, this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do, this is what you're going to do. But I saw something where it's that when he instantly was like, well, I want to do something else. So now you say you want to do something else. I'm not going to push you towards an interest that I see that you're good at and you have interest in something else. So I'm going to let you drive it and see where it's going to go. So I get that because you don't want the kid to get bored. You don't want them to get like where they get older and then they get burnt out about it and then they don't want to do it no more. Because I always think like, okay, baseball, like we here to have fun, even though, you know, we take it serious.
Yeah.
But we're here to have fun.
Right.
So when he decided, and I'm like, you sure you want to do this band? Because this stuff ain't cheap. Like,
it is not.
Okay. So I'm saying was like, you know, band ain't cheap.
Right.
So with that being said, I was like, okay, well, this is what you want to do. Then we're going to just go all in with it and let's see if it's something that you like.
Right.
So we took a pause on baseball for fall ball because I want to see if this is something interesting. So he has this interest. And then on top of that, he wants to get into robotics on top of that. So now you double in my pockets on what you want to do, which is fine because I was never limited to anything as a child. If we wanted to do it, we got to do it.
You found a way. Yeah,
you found a way to do it. So, you know, with the pains of that, with him or whatever, I'm just letting him fill out what he wants to do. But at the same time, I'm not about to let him waste money.
Right.
So it's not like, oh, I'm tired of doing that now, I'm going to go do this. Oh, I'm tired. So that's what I'm not going to do.
Right.
But I'm going to let him fill out, you know, where he really has a passion.
Right. So
Because
is he doing, like, how is he adjusting to the new way of doing things? Like, just being independent.
You beat me to it, kind of.
How's being independent? So, so with the ironing of the clothes, it's the whole fight. Like he at the ironing board crying.
Really?
You'll get over
He ironing and crying.
ironing and crying, crying and ironing,
Bless it.
ironing and crying.
But he's
He don't
doing
wanna
it?
do
He's
But
doing
he's
it?
doing it.
Okay.
He's doing it, but he crying because he don't want to do it. But that's not my problem. That's your uniform.
Right.
It's not mine. I ain't putting it on.
Right.
So we going through that. Now washing the clothes and putting them up, no issue. I'm like, all right, it's Saturday. Make sure it's in there. Just the washing machine stop. Go hang them up, let them dry. Because I don't let them dry as uniforms because I need them to last. I need them to last for a whole year. Go hang them up. So that's not a problem. It just comes with his ironing. He wants to cry. Creating his own menu, no problem because he knows what he wants to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got a little magnet menu. It's about an 8 by 11. It's big, so he can take it. He can write out his menu, what he wants to eat. And this helps us get up in the morning, get done what we need to get done, instead of just like rushing around with your head cut off and you don't have no direction. You have a menu, just go to your menu, like, okay, I want this, put it lunch back, okay, we're good to go. So our mornings, honestly, this far, has run real smooth versus last year. I'm talking about last year, I just be like 40 minutes and feel like I don't have enough time to get ready because we get to bed 6 o'clock when you be out the door by 6:40.
Right.
And it was like the 40 minutes be ate up like this. Now it's like by 6:20, I just be like, well, I guess let me cook you some breakfast. Because I'm not doing everything no more.
Right.
I'm not doing everything no more. So that part has been good. Him adjusting to a new class has been, a struggle because he's not with his friends, and I'm glad that has happened.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to keep him motivated about school because he's like, oh, school is just, school, because he's not with his friends.
Oh.
So that's why you want to do the activities. Okay, let's do it, to keep you engaged and, keep you wanting to go.
Right.
So the adjustment's been good with that. Now with the college kids, that's just a whole nother thing. The one that's been in school, she's adjusted. It's whatever. She's just going back. This is her 4th year being there. So this is her last year. She's done. But the other one that just started, when you got these kids, these teenagers act like you can't tell them nothing. Y'all know. Y'all got big kids.
Yeah.
So, the adjustment with her, we was trying to guide her the whole time before she got there, particularly with get your license before you go. You don't have to have a car. Just get your license. Get your license just so you can have them. Learn how to drive over the summer. You don't have to get a car, but at least you'll know.
Yeah.
She get down to campus. Part of her scholarship is she has to do like this volunteer work at the old folks home with old people. They have like mental
issues and things like that. Disability, yeah.
So, so she has to go and do that. But the thing is, it's off campus.
Right.
And it's far off campus. So she thought she was going to take the same mentality and be like, oh, I'll catch an Uber. So she got a taste of dose of reality. 5 Ubers never showed up. But mind you never wanted to take the advice that we were trying to give you. You gave us attitude. I ain't got to get my license.
Yeah, think you know it all. Yeah.
You think you know it all. So now it's, I need my license.
Yeah.
How I'm going to get them? Oh, I need a car. I said, okay.
Well, you know what? That brings me to that when you say that. Because Kiki, you sent off a college kid this year. Your only baby. Gone.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know you mentioned something about the driver's license and all that stuff too. So I know you can relate. So what's your
I don't know what's wrong with these kids that they don't want to drive. I don't get it.
No, mine wants to because she want a car. She is so excited that freshman year you can actually have a car. I guess because hell is in the country. But I paid for her almost 2 years ago for a 30-hour course because then you had to have it. When you're 18, you don't have to do all that. You just go in and take your driver's test and get your license. Yeah, she didn't never work on that. She probably did 3 hours of that course. And then on the day she left for school, I had to take her early that morning to get her license because she had turned 18 the day before.
When you had been trying to prepare her, so I mean, like, how was that? Like, were you just like at some point did you say, you know what? just whatever. You
Just
know,
over it.
like
But then it wasn't bad because she was 18. So I know, she had to go through all that. But the whole thing for me, I'm like, you had 2 years to do this, 30 hours. I said, you could have did a couple hours a day and be done with it. I said, but instead you wanted me to run you around. That's what was aggravating.
That's what you were doing.
Because I'm your personal Uber and taxi driver.
Yep.
Yeah,
But you could have had your license. And y'all want to know what's really crazy? Her dad bought her a car.
Yep.
But when she finished the course, he got her a car. She never got the car. He sold it because she was taking too long.
I mean, what? My thing is, even with that, your dad buys you a car. The car is waiting for you. It's right there. Like, what else are you focused on that is keeping you from just taking your course so you can hop and jump in your car? I don't understand that. I don't understand the mentality of some of these, not all this Gen Z, generation, but I don't understand what that's about.
And I'm like, okay, I understand you got work in school because she was working and going to school. I said, okay, that's cool. I understand there might be a lot of pressure. I said, but you go out on the weekend.
Exactly.
You make time for that.
Yeah,
you could have
it's not seen as a priority because you want to know why? Because mom and dad, I need to go here. All right, come on. Oh, mama here, and mama gonna take you. All right, come on, let's go. Instead of like, you know what? No, I'm not. Because I had to do
to learn that. A couple times she had to Uber because I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm tired.
Yep. And that's what happened to the 9-year-old that's down in school. Oh, I need to go do this. I need to go do that. You an adult. I'm not taking you nowhere. Something wrong. Figure it out. So her figuring out was spending all her money for Uber.
And you know what? We actually didn't go through that as far as getting a license. It was more like, I got to get, rushing and do it. I'm like, you got to take your time to study. So we had the opposite, thing to deal with. Like, that's been the oldest ones graduated 2019. So, imagine back then having you got the two little, you got sets. You got this set over here that's still in elementary school, and you have this set over here that's graduating high school, transitioning to college. That's, I don't even remember how we did that. We just did it. You just go with the, go with the flow. Do what you can and just say, you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. But with the independence, like Mo mentioned, for me, it was, I think we started, because to be honest with you, Brian was the one fixing the breakfast because he had morning duty. I had evening duty, the way our schedule was set up at the time, because I was still in, corporate America, to where, somebody else was dictating my time. So I had to, do what I could. So I ended up on, the evening shift, but he was fixing the breakfast. But that ended for us really when COVID happened. And then them getting back into, when they went back, to school in person, it was, they said, we want to take our lunch, whatever. They knew what they wanted to eat, whatever. They get up in the morning, even now, you fix your own little lunch or pack your snack, it's there. Nobody has to tell you, to brush your teeth. Because the night before, your clothes are prepared. But we, a few weeks before, we prepared them. Hey, you're not staying up till 12 o'clock. You're not doing that. Bryson, get off that game. You're not, taking it seriously with a notepad and paper. That's what he keeps by his gaming and all that kind of stuff. So, and speaking of that, that has been a challenge. Still straight A student. Still, testing scores, great. Both of them. You know what I mean? No issue with that. Even with the ripping and running, the baseball, this one got this. I think the program we had them in, the after school program, that they make sure, homework is done. They have their outside time, their tutoring time, whatever. So, you know, that's why we chose the after school program, you know, that they go to, because it was like with the sports, you need to have that homework finished, because getting home on practice days, getting home at 8, 9 o'clock, it's time to go to bed.
Go to bed, right.
You know what I mean? So we had to, you know, figure that out, and it worked, because before the after school program that they were going to, it was just playtime and snacks. I'm sorry, you got out of school at 2:30. It is 6 o'clock. Why do you have homework? You know, so that was then, but you know, we just prepared them like you said, Mo. This is happening. There's no choice. This is happening.
It's happening.
And we had to prepare ourselves too, getting back up in the routine, you know. So I think as parents, you know, like Dr. Shafali mentioned, I agree with preparing, because like she said, this ain't no like, oh my God, stop making it big. No, this what you got to do. Let's do it. You know, I
also real life, baby. That adult life is dope.
Right.
Let's go.
You know, and then too.
And with you saying that after school with that type of not doing homework while your homework not done, you guys just going outside and playing. I had that same experience. That's why I said, no, man, I can't be doing that. I ended up had to go to a Montessori after school program.
Okay. See, you know, and again, like she mentioned, talking about, you know, with the extracurricular, you know, is it our ego as parents? Because a lot of times, and I hear it, oh, we just pushing, no, you gonna do it because this is success. This is your way to success. And I think, you know, like she said, we have to listen to our children, listen to what they need, what they want, and that also dictates the schools that they are going to. Like, what is that? Does that school match, you know, up to what your kid needs and wants as their career, as what they want to do? Because I know for as far as Bryson and Kennedy, their school has to be like known for sports. Like, it has to be. You know, they told us that's what we want to do. That wasn't something that we
forced on them.
You know, but that's what they want to do. So I agree with listening and having a conversation like you did, Mo. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Because, honey, I know about band. You know, the oldest girl was in band. And on top of band, she was in dance. That's an extra $1,000.
That's an extra,
each year, and buying the instrument, and if they lose it, they have to be responsible. We went through, I think she lost maybe like one instrument or something, but I need new reeds. I need this. It ain't just buying an instrument and you're good. No, that instrument has to be kept up with. It has to be tuned depending on, you know, what instrument you're playing. This stuff costs.
It's pricey. When I went over there today, I was like, this was some real stuff. I was like, where the kids stuff at?
Okay. And then Bryson come talking about, he got on the computer. Again, that notepad, and he was downstairs. He got on the computer. And I was like, what you doing? I mean, he just looked so serious. I'm like, what you doing? He's talking about, I'm trying to learn how to code. I said, coding? He said, yes. He said he's interested in gaming coding, which makes sense because he's, you know what I mean? And I said, you want me to sign you up for a class, or, you know, what you want to do? And he was like, no. He was like, I just want to learn on my own right now. I just want to look it up and research. And that's what he's been doing. So I'm like, you know, okay, we'll leave it at that.
We've been lucky to get that at the school. So the school chose who can go to this gaming coding class and who couldn't. So Nishan got chosen to go to the gaming coding class. So
that's good.
They're coding games, they're coding robots, but they're like, little tiny robots, but it's okay. So they're coding that, and they have to write their own code. It's not like code like how, I ain't gonna say his name, but my husband. It's not coding like how he writes, but it's coding for the kids to be able to gravitate and understand it, because right now it's like basic coding.
Right.
Whereas coding with like pictures, so you can go drag and pull. And I'm like, honestly, that's probably where the world finna go, because coding is such a difficult thing. Like, you just can't pick it up and be like, oh, I got this.
Right.
It's you gotta understand what you're doing. But for them, for where they at right now, they're coding by pictures.
Yeah.
So if you want to take your little man, I say your little man, go left, right, up, down, go eat the little monster, whatever. It has the pictures like you have to put so many arrows to go this way, so many arrows to go this way. Then you got to put in a little and or. Then you got to put the word eat, or you got to put the word run, or put the word walk, whatever the case may be. So that's why I said
that's good. And that gives the boys something else to have in common to talk about, since they're interested in. And too with Bryson, because he's so sports. When he did that, because I told him, you will, education is for real. We don't play about that. We do not. That comes first. And I wanted him to have something else to fall back on, because with sports you can retire early. You be 40 years old. That's young. Like, what else are you gonna do? What else can you just don't limit yourself to sports. You know what I'm saying?
Anything can happen on that path. I mean, anything can happen with life, but you don't want to get injured and get upset. You go into a deep depression. Thought that's what your career was going to be. So it's always good at it.
Exactly, because you have some rappers, like take Lil Wayne for instance, because if I'm not mistaken, he has a degree in he has a degree in finance. Some what is it? Dealing with Lil Wayne.
No, I'm trying to say, I know it was a male rapper that had a nursing degree. I know the other chick does. I forgot her name. But I thought it was a
Megan Thee Stallion. She went and got a degree. Yeah, Lil Wayne. He
did.
While we're talking. Yeah, he has a degree in psychology.
Because he went to college. What was it? University of Houston.
Phoenix. Yeah, University of Houston.
And then he took courses at the University of Phoenix. So he went to two different schools. So I'm like, don't limit yourself. Right. What are you interested in? I know you have other things that you're interested in. But
and that's why when we got to this year or whatever, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna go play baseball. Then it was like, well, I really want to play band. I was like,
you paused.
I'm out. I was like, because band is that's a lot of commitment.
It is.
The one that just went to college, I pushed her to get into band because she was so like closed off, didn't have no friends. Her self-esteem was really low. So I was like, go do band. And she got in band. It was just like her attitude changed, her self-esteem changed, or whatever. And it was a lot. Like it was a lot. So with him, when he brought all these new interests, I was like, okay, well, maybe we take a step back from baseball right now. And let's figure out what else that you want to do.
Right.
Because Nishan takes after I just said his name, didn't I? Okay. My child takes after his daddy.
You ain't calling nobody out.
He takes after his daddy, where they like sports. They have an athletic ability, but it's always something in a book that's driving them interest more. I've noticed that.
That might be,
If it's a book, he wants to read a book. He's carrying around his little books, right? Just like his daddy. We got too many books. They carrying around a book. so I'm starting to notice, like, okay, but you're gonna do something because you got to be active, right?
Right.
But if you want to, have your interest in this, I'm not gonna stop your interest. I'm not gonna do it. So we'll see how it goes, or whatever.
Yeah.
I hope it goes well, because I played in the band when I was in elementary school, and I loved
played in the
it.
band. I was in the band.
I played the flute.
Yes.
Elementary.
I played the clarinet.
I was elementary, middle school, and high school. Kiki, you don't remember when I was in the band at Chapel Hill?
Really? You want me to remember?
me and your other friend was in the band. You don't remember us being in Kiki? Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? I've been knowing this chick since I was 12.
What y'all play? The clarinet?
See? Yes. You know.
Okay. I just had to go back some.
You remember how we was always with our clarinets, band day and everything. You couldn't tell us nothing. But check this out. On top of the kids playing baseball and softball, your girl is getting ready to try out for the basketball team, and she's conditioning now. So
that's good.
I'm like, and I asked her today, you sure you doing this? She said, yeah. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, they got other interests, because they're still in that younger age. I'm like, let's try it all, but you ain't gonna waste my money.
Yeah.
Right. So we ain't just gonna try one thing, throw it down, put it in the closet type of thing. But I don't want to stop you from blossoming.
Right.
And
supporting them.
And supporting them, and instead of sitting in the house and getting sad because they have nothing to do. So I'm all here for it. It's just gonna be a different vibe for me because I'm used to being out at a baseball field about this time of the year.
Yeah.
So,
but you know what? I do have to say this. Parenting is a lot. Some days we feel like doing it.
Book on it.
Probably most days we do not, right? But the other day I was kind of thinking like, wow, my youngest child is 10 now.
Mm-hmm.
In seven more years, because he will be the two youngest ones, they will both be 17. Going on a regular schedule, they will be 17 when they graduate, and it's like we literally have 7 more years until everybody's out the house. So I'm really trying to enjoy this time with them because I'm not going to get it back. Even with the stress and everything that comes along, I know it's going to be worth it. So that is my bright side of it. Like, dog, he's 10. And I literally kind of I didn't really cry, but I kind of got teary-eyed. And his face, just kissing his cheeks, they're still feel babyish, but at the same time he's getting older. I notice he's getting thicker. I'm like, not fat or chubby, but that muscle thickness, that growing up thickness. And I'm like, dang, you changing. Like, this is my baby, the baby out of the family. And I only have 7 more years. He's it. He's the last. So
right on by.
Right. So I'm just gonna enjoy all the stress and all for real, y'all. Yeah. And just focus on, like I said, it's I mentioned in my little diary that I did on my single video, I just look for my me time. I look forward to my me time, and that keeps me kind of balanced. I'm not jumping for joy all the time. Let's be real. But I have to be like, you know what? Ooh, when we get home, I'm going to relax, watch my show, or do whatever I want to do. It's football season, so I'm really excited about that. Yes. So, we just have to find our light throughout, that stress and stuff. So, at the end of the day, that is my message to our parents out there who are listening. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. We all, parenting does not come with a handbook, unfortunately. And, I don't think it can, because each child is different. Even with your own children, they're different. You can't, what works for one child ain't gonna work for that one. And it's like, we're feeling pulled apart. But look, they didn't ask to be here. So we have to give them the best and do the best that we can and ask for help if you need help. Because Mo, when I was on the board at the high school dealing with the oldest two, I was Brian was having to do this. I'm like, Mo, I need to drop this one off with you because I need to be over here and ripping and running. That was a lot. That was a lot.
Take a toll on your body and your mind.
Take a toll on everything.
I mean, in the days they didn't have practice, they was marching in and sitting in because the band rooms had like computer rooms and with the little nice little setup. They knew where to okay, y'all know where to go, and they was in there right along with the other little sisters and brothers. All of them sitting up there doing homework because why? Because they older siblings in band. I mean, we had you know what I'm saying? But I am grateful that I was able to do that. So even though we had to be somewhere, whatever, there was an area, there was a system in place, where they could do their homework, enjoy other little kids. We were getting home kind of late sometimes, but we just had to make it work. We had to make it work.
Yeah.
So when they graduated, it was like, woo! I'm so glad. But,
what's going to be y'all first trip after them 7 years, Kyle? What island y'all going to?
Some island, maybe a few of them. We might be going on a tour. Look, we might be on a whole tour for about 6 months. I'm for real. I'm so for real.
That's serious. I always be saying that, and it's so funny because.
Hey Mo, hey y'all, look, cause look, that the kids paying for it. Hey, you want to be a star? You want to be an athlete? Hey, give me what we getting? What we getting for putting in the hard work and supporting you and doing it? Cause mom and daddy tired. We happy, but we tired. So
tired.
Yep. So, well, I mean, I guess Mo, I cut you off. I did cut you off, but
it's okay.
Like I wanted to hear too, like, what's your what's your advice to our parents out there? What's something else you can
I would say for those that have kids that's already been in school, start to give your kids more a responsibility, and everything don't have to be on you as a parent. For those that got the new ones, the new little ones that's going to school, it's definitely going to be an adjustment. Have some patience, and you'll get through it. But for those that know the routine, start giving them some accountability. You don't have to take on everything yourself.
Right.
And that's where I'm at with this year.
Right.
It's just because of just me working from home most of the time or whatever. When you work from home, you need more responsibility. So I'm already stressed out. I'm not going to be stressed out because you don't want to get up, So it's your responsibility. And then to me, it just helps them grow up and be a functioning adult.
Right, because when they go off to college and whatever, they should know how to take care of themselves, their hygiene, washing their clothes, cooking for themselves. They don't have to be a chef, but some basic food,
basic food.
Right, they have to be independent.
You should know how to boil an egg. I mean, like, come on.
Or make a grilled cheese sandwich or something.
Right.
So, Kiki, what you got for our parents out there?
For me, I would say your child doesn't want to do anything, don't push them. And I say that because I asked my daughter probably 2 or 3 times. And it's more so elementary, probably 3 times. Because every time she went to another school, so elementary, middle, and high, asked if she want to do anything. She's like, no. Okay, cool. I didn't push the issue or nothing because really I didn't do sports or anything. But I didn't want to push her to do anything because I didn't do it. Right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, don't push them and take time for yourself. Even throughout, the school year when you can, if it's 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just take some me time to meditate and get you a woosah moment. Because if not, you might snap depending on how your children act.
Right. And because it's okay to let your kids know, look, I need a minute. Be transparent. Allow them to be transparent with you as well. Because just like how you have feelings and you go through things as a human, you're an adult, but they're human as well. Allow them, don't allow them to get disrespectful because it's all in their tone too. But allow them to be transparent with you and letting them know like, hey, you can talk to me. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out what's going on. Because a lot of times as parents, when our kids are acting out, we just be like, nah, we want to go in like, stop all that. You need to, maybe let's kind of, okay, again, calm down. Calm your nerves real quick. What's going on? What's going on? Because they're acting out because they don't know how to articulate. I did not know how to articulate as an adult, and I acted out. My acting out was pretty much, putting people down with my words, cutting through folks and hurting people's feelings. You get what I'm saying? So as children, when they're acting out, you might want to sit them down and figure out, what's going on. Because, it's a lot going on in school. Bullying, kids, these little babies committing suicide. That's so sad. The youngest one I heard was 6 years old. So we have to help with these transitions. Matter of fact, I heard of 2 6-year-olds. According to the CDC, that was the youngest. Yes. I be looking up, I study that stuff. So, we have to, it's a lot, y'all. This back to school, I was a bit overwhelmed because of the kids' birthday. You know what I mean? Putting that party and they were busy all summer. For one, I wasn't putting my kid in camp. Not that I have anything against it. It's because I got tired I needed a break from getting up that early in the morning when I didn't have to. It was too much. I got to do it during the school year and I got to do it during the summer. No.
A little bit much.
No. But at the end of the day, they stayed busy because they had plenty of cousins. They were doing activities. They weren't in the house sleeping around all day. Yeah, you had a few days where we didn't go nowhere, but for the most part, they were out. So it was stressful having to think about school, parties, and whatever until I said, you know what? Let me prioritize my to-do list real quick. So I had to make another one so I wouldn't. Let me put this to-do list right here because I can focus on this later. I need to focus on this right here. This is my priority. This is helping mama and daddy keep sane real quick so we can get this out the way and then we can move forward to other things. So I think you all made great points. And to our listeners, hang in there. And I'm gonna say it again, if you need help, find a support system because it takes a village too. It takes a village. It's all right. Stop letting our egos get in the way. Egos are played out. I don't like them. I don't even. They play it out, y'all.
No, see the village too. That's that new post I've been seeing going around.
Yeah, that's true.
That is so true.
That's true. It's true. It's not easy being a parent. It's not easy, but look, we were strong enough to have them. We strong enough to get them through. There are blessings. There are babies. No matter how old they get, I know when they become adults, it becomes advice, right? We're literally
Yes.
giving advice. They have the choice to listen or not. They will figure it out one way or the other. You know, if they know what's
Yes,
good for
true.
them. So,
Right.
all
Yep.
right. Well, it was great this evening.
As always.
Yep, always. I love talking to you all. I love, talking to our listeners. And like you said, adults needing a village. I feel like this is my village for me. You know what I'm saying? It's an outlet. Is because I'm getting advice from you all. We're taking from each other, and that's something that I needed.
Yep.
For myself.
Right.
But yeah. So it's all good. It is all good. Anything else? Y'all got something else? Because we are going to wrap it up with our final thoughts. If you had anything else you wanted to add.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. Until next time. You know the saying.
Until next time.
Until next time. You know the saying. Peace, love, and light. Good night. See y'all next time.
Good night, y'all.
Yes. Peace.